So pi radius squared times height. That's what we're writing at first. There's your volume. Did you guys grab calculators?
No.
If you don't have a calculator, I'll have you grab one before we start the partner work. So this is pi r squared times height. Good, I have that down. It tells you this cylinder has a diameter of 19. So let's make a picture for this first one so we can see what's happening. There's our cylinder. And if it's a diameter of 19, it's going across the top of the circle. And this thing is just cutting the whole top all the way across, like that. That's 19. The height is 5, and they want us to use 3.14. Plug this number in for me. What's the radius if the diameter is 19? Claire? 9.5 works, so let's do 9.5 squared. Thanks. Kilometers, yeah. it's I don't know what they're doing kilometer, but yeah, it's like that would be like not even a rocket, that would be some like statue, or the kilometers, that's not a statue. That's probably not even possible. You're correct. The height is 5 and 3.14 is pi. Okay. In your calculators, let's do 9.5 squared. 9.5 times 9.5 is what? Plug it in and raise your hand if you have a calculator. If you don't, you'll get one eventually. 9.5, Kendall? Okay. So there's a few different ways you guys can multiply once you get all of your numbers. If you wanted to multiply 3.14 times 5 times 9.5, then square it, that's an option. I think the easiest way to avoid blunders is just to put 9.5 squared first and get that number. I find that's like a lot less likely I'm going to press the wrong squared button or like forget an equal. So I think I would choose this route and then multiply all of them together to get your answer. 90.25 times 5. 1416, 1416.925, and we're going to round to the nearest tenth today. Kilometers cubed. But this one says something kind of tricky. It says it wants it in terms of pi and using 3.14. If it says in terms of pi, we're going to leave this thing as the pi and just multiply those two numbers. So here's our first option. Our second answer is in terms of pi, and it looks like this. 90.25 times 5, and then we're going to put a pi after it. 451.25 pi. Raise your hand if you remember why I would just leave the pi here. Why is that sometimes preferred in math, Stan? And it's more accurate, right? So if it says in terms of pi, it's talking about the bottom one. If it says to use 3.14, you're going to plug in the actual number. Today, you guys are going to be using 3.14 for pi for most of these. Example 2, read it, please. Elia.
Find the volume of a basketball in terms of pi and using 3.14.
Both ways, okay?
The diameter across the great circle is 28 centimeters.
I guess the great circle means like the middle of it. So let's draw a circle and put the formula. Deacon.
So you were going to round to the nearest tenth?
I know. I decided not to round because it was a nice like decimal. I like 0.25. I don't want to round that one. It was just more accurate. So there's my sphere. What's the formula for a sphere? Ava F. Formula for a sphere. You have front row seats. Okay. And what's the radius of this great circle? Claire.
14.
It is 14. Half diameter is your radius, so let's start plugging numbers in. 14 to the third pi times 4/3. Let's go to your calculator. When you're multiplying by 4/3, you guys, it's the same thing as multiplying by 4 and dividing by what? 3. So when I plug this in, I'm going to do 4 times 3.14 times 14 to the third power equals, did you guys get that? No? Adi, what did you get? Okay, I did something wrong because I did the 14. Oh, divided by 3. Okay. Question, Indy? The diameter across volume of the basketball. So a basketball is a sphere. So we're gonna envision this thing as the basketball. The basketball is a sphere. So we're gonna use this thing as a sphere. Let's set this up, and I'm gonna multiply it a little more accurately. 3.14. Instead of doing 14 to the third inside the problem, I'm going to, on my calculator, get that number and put it here. 2744. Divide that by 3. Okay, plug that number in if you have a calculator. And while people are plugging that in, can somebody get my answer in terms of pi? So we're going to ignore the 3.14 and just do the 2744 times 4 divided by 3. Annika, did you have an answer for this one?
I got it. I think it's wrong. I don't know.
11,488.
You right there, you see it. I didn't change anything. Oh no. It's right there.
And this is in centimeters. Okay, there's your answer for the full thing using 3.14. My answer for in terms of pi is going to just be the 4 times 2744 divided by 3. There's your pi, divide it by 3. Leave your pi out of the equation. 4 times 2744 times, dadgummit. 4 times 2744, dadgummit. Dadgummit? Dagdummit, sure, I don't know. 4 times 2744 equals, when you guys are multiplying this, hit equals and then divide. 3658? Okay. 0.7 pi centimeters cubed. Let me see, if you did 4 times 2744 divided by 3, we got the same answer. Good, okay, just checking. Last one. Emma, read example 3.
A cone has a diameter of 4 inches and a height of 7 inches. Find the volume of the cone in terms of pi and use 3.14 for pi.
Same
These are
thing.
your answers.
So we got 2 answers. Draw your cone. You got 4 inches for the diameter and 7 for the height. Formula for the cone is what, Indy?
It is 1/3 times pi radius squared times height.
What's the radius? Indy, keep going.
2 inches.
Okay. What's the height? Yep.
7.
Okay, when you plug this into your calculator, how are you going to set it up, Indy? Keep rolling. Tell me what you would do. So are you gonna do 1/3 first or move to 3.14?
I have no clue what you just said.
Are you gonna move to the pi symbol or are you gonna do 1/3 first?
I think you should just do the square part and then times it by 7.
Okay, 2 squared is 4 times 7. And then times 1/3 is the same thing as dividing by 3.